If they don't replace their candidates and they come back, of which that is what they are trying to do, to say we can't get candidates, so therefore we are withdrawing.
Asem Kesi babeto Ghana chese enya asem ketwa information ahodo secret meeting ahodo plans ahodo plotting ahodo eye Akua Donkor sebi ni film or film de ba NPP for a take advantage no nyina ba out chese be pro nyire go ama ansa ne be kwen asem no so no is say wa subscribing but more than so be ne sama se ne be ni ma ahodo den so beto other platforms no also sabe ko so aka ni nyina na so keep updated yes already infinity ni enka de o chairman enra ena che say EC edene press statement beto abontia o kase eye Akua Donkor sudden death na ba abontin area hosempa intin ye best suspended printing of ballot papers because already no am printed ballot papers hold on na almost akaki twebi na nkoma print ewie now say be sha Akua Donkor din was so and then the picture so the ebo so inte be ya Akua Donkor party nko fa new candidate in brand now say running mate no kind of person obe stand man na on family no mo shi bibia se for so must suspend for 10 days into no e Akua Donkor party no enfanye to no mo fa din in the picture brand na sa case we na NPP for a take advantage. She see information by the NDC Director for Election for IT edit to the HSA Akua Donkor party no omba be yi omo ho afri eye race na ba because no ba be yi omo ho afri and NPP for NHS so planning and plotting nyina no information ya be kwa teachers o ma sha free eye Jubilee House ono mo design ma nyina ba na omasha se intiase be ye adwuma na Akua Donkor ye de atnanchen and the moment Akua Donkor betnanchen se de ebribi atwemchema wontumi so original no ombe ma GM anase NDC aba number 7 na chesa abema momo sene niam ekọ yenko nenkotie any information ahodo achese free Jubilee House oba achese NDC for de achi omo amodi tuja.
We have Dr. Rashid Tanko on the line. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is one of the deputy Director of Elections and IT of the National Democratic Congress. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
I hope you're well.
Terrific.
Well, what's the NDC's view on the EC's move in the wake of the death of Madam Akua Donkor?
Well, the EC is up again with their sinister agenda, and then in concert with the NPP. We saw this coming. Nonsense. As soon as we finish the balloting of positions at the Electoral Commission, within some few days, when the No.8 started catching up with people and all that, we started hearing snippets of information that they were trying to get their comrades, the NPP. They have comrades among the presidential candidates to back out so that they can change our position on the ballot. All this information was just flying around. We're monitoring, our intelligence was on it. We thought it was just one of the stories. Little did we know that there was something like that, planning that one of the candidates would get out of the race, and then that would distort the ballot positioning. And you see that the convention, if a candidate back out before the printing of notice of poll or ballot printing, then it can automatically distort the positioning. But if the candidate backs out after the notice of poll and printing of ballot papers and back out, or something happens, such positions will not be distorted again. Having realized this, they tried all means and it wasn't working. Then somewhere along the line, Akua Donkor passed. Then quickly yesterday, it's so interesting. I was at the Electoral Commission to sign off the statement of poll, that is the pink sheet that they are going to print, because we took a decision this year that we're not going to allow them to just send their items to the printing house for them to print, unless we, the leadership of political parties, will come and sign off. So yesterday was the time for the pink sheet, because you remember what they did for the 2020, printed very bad pink sheet and used it to rig the election. So our eye was on them. Then we realized that Ecuador secretary and the daughter also came in there and sat through. I was this is interesting. Somebody who died less than 10 hours ago. And the party people are here. What are they doing? What are they doing over there?
They were at the meeting.
They were at the meeting where we were going to do the sign off of the thing sheet. And they came and sat. Because that was the first time, because when we signed the ballot papers the other time, they never came. When we signed the presidential ballot notice, or they didn't appear. The parliamentary, they didn't appear. Yesterday was for the pin sheet. Then they arrived. And they came in the company of their surrogates. Of course, you know them. Then they sat. And we did all the signing. In the midst of the signing, a call came through. And I picked the call. It was one of my agents at the printing house that they have been instructed to stop printing of the ballot papers, presidential ballot papers. And I said, who gave the instruction? That electoral commission staff came and told them. So I asked the officer who was there presiding over our meeting, but you people, what kind of instruction have you given to the printing houses to stop the print of ballot papers? And he said he was saying he himself don't have information about it. So he'll find out. He tried making some calls up there. Nobody was responding. So everybody was shocked at the table. But I realized that the Donkor people and their surrogate, the NPP, knew what was going on. So I told him that look, we are not going to accept this. This thing that is going on. We have no basis to give fiat that people should stop printing the ballot papers. On what basis? We are leadership here. And if anything, you should let us know. So once we were there, not that they were preparing a letter to give to Donkor people to go and then and do this thing that they have posted out there. So shortly after the meeting, we knew that they're after something. Then we realized that it's a scheme, a well-calculated scheme, to just make sure that the NDC is moved from its position, as was stated in a video that is circulating around. I'm sure you've gotten hold of the video where Buntumi, Asante Regional Chairman, is boasting that he has the capacity to change the NDC position from the number 8, either number 7 or number 6. Boasting, it's all over there. That is what they are working up to. But they have given them, look, let me give you something. If you check Resolution 17 of CI 127, 17.4, about death of a candidate, the CI, yes, and I'm so happy they made it very clear in their statement. The electoral commission, you see, they should be charitable to Ghanaians with this kind of thing they are doing. They made it very clear. There is a lacuna in the CI. It has not talked about presidential death. It only talks about a candidate in a constituency. The framers of our constitution foresaw this long since, that there will be a time that you might have this problem. If you print ballot papers throughout the country and you are ready to go, then a candidate dies, and you are now coming to bring a new candidate, that means you are going to start all over the process again. The financial burden on the country will be too much. So they were silent on the issue of that, but they were specific on the parliamentary, because a parliamentary is just a constituency. And so the loss in the constituency will not be so huge to a loss of the whole country. Here you are talking about 18.7 million ballot papers that you have printed. But in the constituency, you might not get up to more than 100,000. Maybe the highest could be 150,000 or 200,000. That can be managed. So if you look at the CI specifically, it's referring to a death of a candidate in a constituency. Now you go and then take Article 50. Presumably they want to say the Constitution is supreme. And then you are referring to Article 54. And that Article 54, then if we are going to go by that tangent, the Electoral Commission has no power to interpret it. That is what that's the kind of absurdity they are moving into. Look at that, their last statement. They just quoted it and left it that way. What is it? What are they talking about? If you go and take PNDC law 284, you will see items concerning parliamentary election, and that is where the CI is emanates from. PNDC law 284. I want readers to go and look at it. Specifically, it mentioned about the death of a candidate. But if you take PNDC law 285, it talks about presidential, the conduct of presidential elections, nominations, and all that. Silence about death of a candidate. There's no mention of a death of a candidate. And so, well intentioned, if you want them to replace their candidate, we have no problems about that. We have no problem. If they replace their candidate, we still maintain our position. We have no issues. If they don't replace their candidate and they come back, of which that is what they are trying to do, to say we can't get a candidate, so therefore we are withdrawing, then Electoral Commission should prepare to have a re-balloting. We are not going to allow any automatic rearrangement of the ballots. We will go to a full-fledged re-balloting, and then we all decide our fate again. If that is what they are looking for, then we are ready for it. But if they think that they are coming to use this mechanism within the shortest possible time, the Donkor people will run back to them and tell them that we cannot get a candidate, therefore we are withdrawing, so that it will allow them to rearrange the ballot. We will not agree. We are giving them, in fact, and I'm so happy when my boss issued that statement yesterday on his timeline, that look, we are not going to accept any automatic rearrangement. It won't happen.
Because already we see the circulation on social media, a rearranged ballot paper.
It is coming from Flagstaff House. It's the NPP people who are doing it. As soon as the woman that they started doing all this, even before the EC came out with their statement, I said this is what they are planning to do. It's not that they asked them to go and bring a candidate. They are not bringing any candidate. This is what they intend doing, and that is why we have pointed it out to them, and we are standing by our ground that no rearrangement, automatic rearrangement. If you want, you can leave. If they are not going to contest again, leave it as it is. Look, in fact, by convention, anytime a candidate withdraw before the ballot papers after the ballot papers are printed, they leave the candidate picture on the ballot paper, and then they educate the general public that look, so and so is no more contesting. So if you go and complain on such a person, it becomes a rejected ballot. So to even save it, they give ball pens to the presiding officers so that they will cancel the function of such a candidate. So if they want, if the Donkor people come back to tell them that they are not contesting again, the ballots have been printed, the effigies will continue to be there. On the election day, the ballot issuer will take a ball pen and cancel a Donkor face on the ballot before you issue it to a voter, so that the voter knows that this candidate doesn't exist again on the ballot, and they won't complain on it. That is the shortest way. It's a simple process. But if they think the Donkor people will come and tell them that we are not contesting again, so we are going to remove it and rearrange, we are not accepting it today, we are not accepting tomorrow. If they want that kind of thing, then we'll go for a full-blown reballoting again.
You seem so happy with number 8. That's pushing you back to number 7, not bring you closer to the top and much more visible.
Brother, our destiny at the point of picking the ball during the balloting was clearly stated by the General Secretary and my boss, Dr. Manibama. That is our destiny. We picked it. Nobody should come and be changing our destiny. We'll accept it.
Doc, thank you. That's so clear. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
I'm grateful.
So that's Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. Clearly, what he's suggesting is that, one, the best way to resolve this is how it has always been resolved. In fact, I'll call in the U.S. elections, at some point, was it in the race, I think it was in the Democrat race, all of the candidates withdrew. Even the only candidate was left. But when the ballot paper was printed, the ballot paper had already been printed, so the candidate was still on it. In fact, his votes were counted, that he got this number of votes there. So people were still voting for the candidate who had already withdrawn. So it happened. So he's saying that the best way to deal with this, keep her on the ballot paper. Let's move on. Just indicate to people. So, but if they come back and they say they will have a new candidate and you can afford it, no problem. put that new candidate there and do the print over again. We don't have a problem. But you will not just wake up in the morning and decide that we are pushing you to number 7. Yes.
So Dr. Omani Boama yesterday posted the Electoral Commission press statement and wrote, in fact, he tagged the Electoral Commission and said, we shall not accept automatic rearrangement of positions on the ballot. Just note it and keep it holy. So that was what he posted. When you are done with lawyer, I'll read to you a write-up from lawyer Kukwazan.
Well, let's speak to lawyer Godine Dujukujo Tabakul. In fact, the EC says he has had to suspend the balloting, the ballot printing process because of the fact that Madai Kyadoko had died, and there's no clear constitutional provision or legal provision on this issue that guides them as to what to do.
For assembly na NDC Director for Elections for IT Rashid Tanko and Odia Tujano Niemana Kosono Enna assembly no yesimiti ahodo ye no EC Donkor enko for MB bi da krampon ennom ko EC office de na ye ballot ni mpono ekradonko honi pa bia anko anko choose number na so bra sem Kesi ato party no omu jani nyina ho ekotena EC office not know he say plans and agenda ni nyina no no omahye that kwans na these people near the koho yinne nsema chema wontu mika say obeye achire eyewusu bempa say there is power embema okoma no onye bema no yinne hu de osika na asam so obitama NDC for a from position akwa another position 6 or 7. So with this agenda na abano you see NPP for a champion no take advantage over this situation, sad situation we trying to convince AGFP that a Donkor party is a free so na easy automatically no and drop a Mahama Embra number 7. Now so no as you speak no NDC for the betu just say Sanya man no more kuki or Jubilee House in nyina no abeto manim we are from a year mechanism official place in eba abeto manim inteno kwan bia on person mama Donkor as you speak in this position one say on my be yom ho free a year presidential race no we update abano no within sama yenua Rashid to Jana on ba be yom ho free a year race na isi so ya na adwen say obey automatic air balloting na no na NDC for a pick intelligence ni tentem and na che say air Dr. Mani Boama edbeto ni air ni page tagi AJ mensa say ade na mo planning na no mate o mahu dada mo mon try mo mon de is either say mbo ma kwa don ko din awo ballot paper no so se onko biem so be ko biem no nya new person amana be sine nan no mama ni din ni picture was because already in Ghana ni ska mama ni din ni picture was so dada intino si a drew police station so be ko to aba EC no official no on ase dey say obetwa ekwadon ko din ana say on be sha say indicate the masses aka chom say the number 3 on the ballot people no so no otua enye like yen kan to otua watu ogukwa no mo sha say indicate the masses say omesa kwa printing people for ana say omeka say ye ni din afim tino yes am be another balloting time wasting for time aka yes say train 10 days da benda ya say yes akwa print another ballot papers da benda yes this is the date December 7th this year the shader into no medical advice ya akwa so still na so almost say still no more train 10 days am matches almost dem hu nipa aba na so makwa bibia fofora fine na so no the 10 days no so na se plan normal plan some ma that party ni nko na mo begitum na so so mo free so no automatic balloting o mesa balloting foforo because omo mammo embe change your destiny called their destiny is in the number 8 already. Into no, a nya de obiaka na plan or be plan na successful into no aja to on yes ada. In somehow do the big course of power. We ka crave not just a friend of phone so just or no achechena ni semache Ghana for nyina. I check all the plans I so any say the name AC go. Subscribe na share money so en san ke bi 100% Akroma.